November meeting of the City of East Peoria's Zoning Board of Appeals. The first item is roll call.
Driscoll.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
Sams.
Here.
Brashears.
Here.
Bruner.
Here.
Reeker.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Excellent. And the first case of the evening is case SU-2025. What? Oh, yeah, how did I skip that? Oops. Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our meeting held on October 13th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the meeting held on October 13th, 2025.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Tim and Michael. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, minutes approved. The next case of the evening, the first case of the evening, is SU-2025-013, and that's the petition of Patty Niebuhr for a special use to allow for an accessory structure inconsistent with the requirements set forth in City Code Section 5-6-5 on property located at 2370 Centennial Drive, Washington. Property ID number is 02-02-19-200-029. Would the petitioner approach the podium, please? Okay, and will you
Hi.
make sure you speak into the microphone for me?
Okay.
And will you state your name?
Patty Niebuhr.
Okay, Patty, and the first thing is I need to swear you in. Will you raise your right hand for me?
Okay.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Okay, will you go ahead and tell the zoning board what you would like to do on your property?
Well, we would like to build a 20 by 24 garage to replace the two-stall horse barn that we had that burned down. So it's a replacement building.
Okay. Questions for Patty? Joel?
I don't have any.
Michael?
No questions.
John?
No questions.
Troy?
I don't have any questions either.
Tim?
I don't have any questions. I just want to, or just maybe make a couple comments. I may ask for some clarification from city staff. So, so the special use is brought before us because we have, this will be 3 accessory structures and a facade that's inconsistent with city code, correct? Okay, and then, but based on the petitioner's comments, which I don't think I was aware of this, this is replacing an accessory structure that was previously there that is no longer there anymore. So is that's accurate, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, yeah, those were just points of clarification I wanted to make in case anybody else had missed that. So that was all from me.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's 1,250 square feet.
Okay.
It says that it's larger than permitted by code, as well as having a sheet metal facade. It will be back away from the roadway and partially screened by the home from the view of the street. I don't have any further questions.
And one more, sorry.
Go ahead.
What's the facade of your existing structures on your property?
What do you mean by facade?
The outer, the siding.
One's a brick building and the other one's a Morton building.
Okay.
Any further questions for Patty? None? Okay, Patty, you can have a seat. Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the zoning board on this particular case? No? Okay, we will move on then with the next case. And the next case is case V-2025-006. That's the petition of Perry Scott for a 5-foot variance to allow for an accessory structure to be placed on property located at 220 Racine Court. Property ID number 01-01-36-302-011. Would the petitioner approach the podium, please? And will you state your name for me?
Scott Edward Perry.
And we had you down as Perry Scott.
That's incorrect.
Okay. Scott Edward Perry is the petitioner. And my pen doesn't work. Okay. Mr. Perry, will you raise your right hand for me, and do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed and tell us what you're wanting to do.
I'm wanting to put a 10 by 10 by 6.5 foot tall metal shed, tin shed, alongside the left side of my house. The structure will be used for my grandfather's and my dad's accessories, wood tools, lawnmower, rototiller, some other items that are in the garage. The floor is going to be 18 by 18 brick patio blocks.
Okay, questions for Scott Perry? Joel?
Scott, the reason you're bringing this is because of how close it is to the property line. Has there been
Correct.
conversations with the neighbor about this?
Yes.
Okay, and how have those gone?
The corner of the shed is actually going to be right pretty close to on the property line.
Okay.
Okay, it's actually 5.5 feet from her house to the one corner of the shed, and then it flares out and it'll get greater after that. But the closest part will be 5.5 feet from her house.
Okay. That's all the questions I have.
Michael?
Just to clarify, so within 5.5 feet of her house, and you've had positive conversations with her, she's okay with the placement of
I
the?
don't know where she stands. She was telling me that it had to be behind my house, the corner of the house, and I said, why? I said, then I'll get a variance, you know. It's actually from the corner of the house where I want to put the shed is 3.5 feet from the corner of the house to the backyard, so.
Okay.
And that's because I'm land trapped there, because I got a terrace. I got a terrace that goes down and then out and then to a gully, so. The only place I have to put it is right there. The other places, the way the land is and the way it goes down and the way it's sloped, I'd have to bring in a lot of dirt or concrete to put a floor in, so.
Okay, perfect. That's all the questions I have.
John?
No questions.
Troy?
No, I don't have any questions. I did drive up there and take a look at it, and I see what your issue is with the sidewalk going down the side there and
Yeah.
and the terrace on the back, so I don't have any questions.
Tim?
That was gonna be my same comments, is trying to understand the topography a little bit better, because, you know, it looks like you have a very, very sizable property. But obviously, based on these aerial views, you know,
Yeah,
GIS
it's
views,
terraced
you-
and then it
you
goes
can't
to a
tell.
gully, that's, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's understandable, thank you.
Have you already purchased this materials for this building?
Yes.
Is there, I guess, any way you would be satisfied with making it slightly smaller so it wouldn't be sitting right on the property line? And
I could go a little bit smaller, yeah.
I
don't-
if you and the neighbor are in agreement, I think that's okay. What bothers me is if you would move or the neighbor would move, and then it starts, you know, down the road, it's not okay.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know if anybody else here would agree with me, but if it could be smaller, just so it sits on your property and only on your property and not on the line,
Okay,
I think, me personally, and I'm only one vote, but that's what I would be more satisfied with.
okay.
How far, like, how much smaller could you go to get it back? Could you get it back like up to 3 feet or 2 feet?
If I
Off
go
of the
3
property.
feet, then the shed is what?
Oh, I guess it would be 10 by 7,
Be-
yeah, so.
yeah.
So you're looking like either 8 or 9 by 10 if you go smaller.
I was
to
gonna
get it.
modify it down to 9 if, you know.
9 by
I don't
9.
even know if I get 10 by
9 by
9.
10
I'd
by
go
9.
10 by 9.
Okay,
If I can modify it, you know, I have to pull it apart and find out if I can even modify it, so.
okay. Yeah, I appreciate just kind of the understanding so that
Yeah,
we can,
yeah.
we can make an appropriate, you know, we can vote on this appropriately.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Mr. Perry? None? Okay, Mr. Perry, you can have a seat.
Thank you.
And is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the zoning board on this particular case? Please approach the podium, excuse me. And make sure you speak into the microphone. Will you tell me your name, please?
Roxana G. Brown,
Roxanne G. Brown, and where do you live in,
next door to Scott,
okay?
and
Will
I've
you
lived,
raise your right hand for me, and do you swear?
right,
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
for sure.
Thank you, Roxanne. Go ahead.
I've been here twice before. I have told him I don't want this shed. I'm totally against this shed. For one thing, if I was to sell my property, it's an eyesore. I'm sure it would affect the next buyer as much as it affects me. It's too big. It's like a whole room. In my house, my bedroom's that big. This is a small property between two houses. It's there because it's to separate from the neighbor, not to put a piece of metal on it. He is 4 feet in on his side. I was told it had to be behind the house. And I politely told Scott I didn't want it, and that I didn't want him to put a shed up, and they come here and tell you you can't have it without a permit. Okay? I didn't want him to put it up and have to take it down. I do not want this there. There's plenty of property below the hill. There's a drop-off. He has exactly, and this much too much, 10 by 10, will hang over the cliff. It's not enough space for it 10 by 10. Now, I've investigated as much as I possibly can, and I do not want that shed there. Now, it is his home. It was his mother's home, and I've known Scott for 35 years and loved him like a friend. And I've had his mother there without anyone else and helped her shovel her driveway and help her out so Scott wouldn't have to come from where he lived after work and shovel driveways when we're right next to each other. I love his mother like a sister or like a mother. We've been together all that time, and it's my home. I love my home. And I don't want to live next door to a shed in that easement, which is an easement. It is his property, but I was told that he had to be behind the house. He's 4 feet to the side of the house. I don't know what much more I can say, except I'm sure it causes hard feelings. I'm trying not to. I tried to keep it peaceful, and I don't want trouble. I want them to live there as long as they want to live there and just respect my, I lived there a long time alone. Raised my grandchildren there, my great-grandson, and mind my own business, and I love my house. And I think that this is an eyesore, and I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say. I could go a lot further, but and I don't want hard feelings. I want them to understand it's a building. It's not 6 by 6 or 4 by 4, and I don't want that either. Don't get me wrong. Getting it smaller is not going to make me happier. It's a cliff. It's a drop-off. It's a horrible yard they got, and I got some of it too. I've got a drop-off too. I put up privacy fences, one on the other side and one on this side, so that his mother could have privacy on her deck, and I could have privacy on my deck. And then my neighbor built this mansion next door, and here's my little peon house. So I put up a privacy fence because it sits sideways. And I put a fence there so she wouldn't have to look in my backyard at what I've got. I've put sheds up in my backyard. That's where they go, not on the side of the property. And I hate telling them they can't do it. I'm trying to get it stopped, and I can only hope that I've been heard, and it's not something you would want, or you, It's a building as big as my bedroom.
Okay.
I don't want it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to address the zoning board on this particular case? And I guess I have a question for Ty or Brad. From the diagram that I saw, it looked like the shed placement was more on the corner, the back corner of the house, not necessarily on the actual side. How much of it is,
broom handle. I measured with a broom handle.
you'll have to approach the podium if you're going to speak again. We have to have it taped.
So what was the question?
So from the
Vice President?
diagram, it looks like the proposed building is sort of on the corner, if you will, of the house, not actually on the side
Right.
of the house. So it's somewhat in the backyard, somewhat on the side?
Yeah, and sheds are allowed to be placed behind the front plane of the house. So
Right.
if you've got the front of the house, it's really everything, whether it's to the side or to the rear, they're permitted to be placed.
So it's permitted to be placed where it's gonna be placed, but the variance is because it will encroach on the setback
Side lot
to the
line.
side lots,
Correct.
setback, okay.
So whether it was 1 by 1 or 18 by 18, he can put it on his property.
Correct. The variance, so to be clear with the variance, as we've discussed before, so when you go through the finding of facts, one of the things that it will ask for is whether or not this is self-imposed or if there is some opportunity to, as you had asked earlier about positioning or resizing to make it, more accommodating. Certainly, the grade of the yard creates some challenges that are not self-imposed. And that's not inconsistent with other neighbors around that cul-de-sac.
Okay? Any other questions or concerns?
Can I ask a clarifying question to Ty? Is the variance that we're looking at is because the building is closer than 5 feet to the property line? Is that the correct?
Correct.
Okay, so the code states that an accessory building must be at least 5 feet from the property line, and if it
Side
needs
and
to-
rear lines, yes.
and then if it's closer to that, then you have to get a variance.
Correct.
The side of the property is okay according to code, as long as it's behind the plane of the house, the
Right.
front plane of the
Right.
house. Okay,
If-
so we're not, the side of the house is not the question here, it's how close it is to the
Correct.
property line. Thank you.
Correct.
Is the facade also a variance? This 10?
Given the size, no.
No.
No, it's typically, code will speak to 150 square feet or greater.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, we will move on then to the next case of the evening, and that's case SU-2025-014, and that's the petition of Lance Frank of Solar Energy Group Hub LLC for a special use to allow ground mount solar panels on property located at 540 West Camp Street. That's the car wash. Property ID number is 01-01-29-405-010. Would the petitioner approach the podium, please? Will you state your name for us?
Yes. Hi, my name is Lance Frank.
And will you raise your right hand for me? And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I did.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
All right. Thanks for having me. I know they're called ground mount. They're actually carports, and the way you would think of them is they just sit on a single post. The post is usually between 12 and 14 feet high. It is a tracker, so the way it would work is during the day, if they're using it for shade for the cars, they can wax under them or whatever they want to do. They can leave it flat. If they want to generate more power, I was actually telling him a car wash uses like 20 to 80 houses worth of power. They use a lot of power. They can click a button, and it has a tracker on it, so it'll actually track the sun. And then it can generate up to 1.9 times what a static solar array would generate. So even though it's called a ground mount, it's very high. So I think it's, it'd be, for us, it's more of a carport. It's up to y'all though. But everything else was designed with all the AHJs in mind. And
Questions for Lance? Joel?
Yeah, a couple questions. it looks like you're looking at 5 of them?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Am I correct in, I'm trying to understand the overlay of this, 2 of them would be over where I would consider like the drive up?
Yep.
So can you just talk through a little bit about how they're located on the property in reference to the actual car wash as well as where the cars park to be, do the vacuuming and all of that?
So for this particular one, we're not covering the vacuums.
Okay.
When you enter, we're covering, that's typically where you would meet the attendant, where you start driving in, so it provides shade for them. Because of the way that the car wash operates, they asked us to place them all out of the driving lanes, so there wouldn't be like a long period of being closed.
You're talking about the posts?
The post, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they will cover the
Yes.
driving lane though.
Yep.
And then you said that they're typically 12 feet tall. Is that what these will be? And then as they tilt, like what would be the lowest they would be from the ground?
So the car wash itself, the entrance is typically between 6, 9, and 7 feet. We'll usually set those where the lowest they can go is 9 feet 6 inches.
Okay.
And then they come with a sensor that it'll just put them right back to normal if like a delivery truck came in, so it doesn't clip it.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I had.
No problem.
Michael?
Approximately how much taller would these solar panels be than what the awnings that go kind of right where you're parking to vacuum? How much taller of those awnings are they going to be?
Maybe about 1.5 feet over the vacuum, but they'd be lower than the buildings.
Okay.
Usually the vacuums are about 8 or 9 feet as well.
Okay. That's the only question I have.
John?
They stay in a north-south plane, they don't go east-west.
So they'll actually track the sun wherever it goes, if that makes sense to you. Yeah. So, yeah, like it doesn't spin, but it just kind of moves on like a 2-knuckle axis.
All right. Yeah, I've seen some of these that have been built here nearby.
They're pretty neat. They're deployed in multiple countries, and they're pretty. I mean, they even have them in wine country, out in Sonoma and stuff. So I mean, they're out. Company is a pretty renowned company. They're the inventors of them.
Troy?
What's the requirements for the structure to put them in? Are you going to have to dig into the lot? How does the wiring and that kind of stuff work? Can you tell us a little bit about how the installation works?
So typically we do like omnidirectional boring when we hook it up, but a lot of the car washes will already have conduit in place when we look at the plan sets. If not, we would bore. We don't want to close them down. What was the second question? I'm sorry.
That was just
That was it?
how they're installed
Yeah.
and what the infrastructure is to get them put in and working.
So, and typically on these, it's a 4x4 hole with rebar grid, and then it's poured concrete inside of there with rebar.
That's so the pole that it will sit on is a 4x4 concrete?
No, the pole itself is less than 3 foot in diameter,
But
but
the anchor into the ground is 4x4?
yes,
One for each one?
yes,
So it
Yeah.
comes up in the center?
yes. Obviously, the 4x4 is underground though, that's the base,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, I have no more questions.
I don't have any questions.
So what is the minimum number of solar panels you would be approved for if you would still proceed with the project?
Beggars can't be choosers, you know?
So it's not all or none?
We're definitely gonna do it on the rooftop. I think we talked to Ty about that. We'd love to do them. The car wash uses way more power, so it's up to you guys, honestly. I would love to do as many as you would let me, but
And there's no way you can go behind the car wash, between the car wash and the property line on the backside?
I don't think so because we had to stay within the setbacks. I passed this to the engineers and gave them the notes. I would have to ask them again, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just trying to think if there was, I guess, another solution as opposed to driving down Camp Street and having solar panels right next to the roadway. But
It was a tough sell to the car wash in a sense too, but they, you know,
okay. I have no further questions.
we do our best to not hide their signage. So I don't know if that helps, but
I got you. Any other questions?
Yeah, is there, you said these rotate and follow the sun, right? Is there any concern, or, I mean, I don't know exactly how much they rotate or anything, but is there any concern for them shining into traffic or anything once they're up and running? I mean, do they angle that much? Or?
they could angle that much. They definitely will not at the car wash. They have to keep them at like that 9.6 low side so they don't have any cars run into it. As far as glare reports, solar had actually went through quite a vetting process. Like for me, I've installed on a lot of places in Arizona by Luke Air Force Base, and that's one of the things we have to submit to the airport and the Air Force. And they say on the glare reports it's about the same as a hood of a car on a sunny day.
Yeah, just concerned a little bit because there is an overpass right there for 74 as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the reflection of those things is, or if we have any kind of code or anything for that, so. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
Was there any thoughts on kind of maybe more retrofitting the existing awnings to do something like this?
Well, we're already going on the rooftop itself, or do you mean over the vacuums?
Over the vacuums, yeah.
We might have some going over the vacuums. If we don't, it's just because our structural engineer came out and did an analysis and no go.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have like 11 sites going on right now in Illinois, so sometimes I get them a little confused. But if they're not over the vacuum, it's because structural wouldn't hold it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Michael, it looks like some going over sorry, you gotta get my directions right here.
Yeah, there's
Like
some
the-
going over, but I was just wondering if they
the
could be put
west.
on the actual
Yeah.
existing awning, maybe make it a little bit less big,
Yeah,
a little bit more hidden, because it's a
yeah,
awning.
it's the size and that thoroughfare there that's extremely busy that, you know, I don't know, I think I'm understanding what you're saying, I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, any further questions, comments? Okay, now you really can have a seat.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the ZBA on this particular case? Okay, seeing no one, hearing no one, we will move on then. And the next case is case V-2025-007. It's the petition of John McCrary for a front yard fence variance to allow a privacy fence in the front yard on property located at 300 Edmund Street, and that property ID is 01-01-32-114-023. Would the petitioner approach the podium, please? Okay. And will you state your name for us?
John McCrary.
Okay, John, and will you raise your right hand, please? And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead, please.
We just would like to have a 6-foot tall privacy fence go from the back of our property along between our house, between our commercial building and the adjoining house. We would like to go to the front of their house versus the front of our building since we're further set back right now.
Okay, questions, Joel?
Yeah, you put in your application that you've been met with a lot of resistance. The neighbors are giving you kind of a hard time. What's the resistance from the neighborhood? Is it more of the business or?
I can only assume in some way it's a personal thing,
Okay.
but I had heard rumblings before we purchased the building that the neighbor in question had problems with the previous tenants. In order to hopefully prevent that, when we first purchased the building, we talked with the neighbor. He had asked if he could drive on our property to get to the back alley. We said that would not be a problem, and it was currently mud. So I had proposed that we go ahead and put a driveway in that we would share, and we would pay for it. He was on board with that, so we did go ahead and put a white rock driveway from the alley up to the front of the property. It didn't take more than about a week, and he was parking on both sides of it, so we couldn't get through. I had gone over and asked him to park either on one side or the other, or stagger the vehicles, or even use our parking lot, so we could at least get out through the back alley. The reason for that is there's a median out in the front of the properties, so it makes sense that neither we or he would want to go around the block if we could simply go to the back property and get out that way. I went over there to ask if he would do the staggered parking. He, for some reason, really did not like me asking that. He started yelling, told me to get off of his property. I started to walk away, and he had said something else, but I don't recall what he had said. I started to turn around. I was on his steps. I started to turn around, and he had shoved me. So I called the police, just reported it, didn't report it, or didn't press charges, just wanted to make sure it was documented in case something else happened. I didn't know the gentleman at all. So that was the first incident. And then he had painted some interesting welcome to the neighborhood signs on a trash can, a kid's pool, just different graphic pictures and words. So we'd just like to get the fence in between the properties to prevent any future issues. But I don't believe it's the building.
No, I appreciate the context. When it comes to the actual fence, so I was kind of looking, it did look like there was enough room, as you say, for 2 lanes, essentially. If you put the fence up, would you still be able to make it to the alley on your property?
No.
Okay, so by putting the fence up, you are no longer going to be able to use the alley.
Blocking our own driveway we just put in, correct.
Okay, and so, okay. I think that's all the questions I have.
Okay.
Michael?
No, I think you've answered them all now.
Okay.
John?
None.
Troy?
No, I don't have any questions.
Tim?
No questions.
I'm just trying to pull up the property. Scroll back.
While you're doing that, what is the actual variance that's coming before us?
So this is a privacy fence taller than 3 feet going beyond the front of his property.
The front of his
building,
property.
sorry.
Sorry?
Going beyond the front of his building.
Okay, so privacy fence in front of his building above 3 feet.
Correct.
Going past the front corner of his
Yeah.
business.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else have any questions or comments? Okay, you can have a seat.
Thank you.
And then, before I call up anybody from the audience, I need to read something that was sent in. And this is from Robert Sally, and his note to us is to make sure that 310, I assume that means 310 Edmund, can see getting out of the drive. Keep the fence 4 feet or lower, or 5 to 7 feet back from the sidewalk. Very busy street. Getting in and out of the drive is already default. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Difficult, okay. 4 new drivers in the, thank you, Ty. Difficult. 4 new drivers in the household, 16 to 18 years of age. Robert Sally, and he gives his phone number. So, now is there anyone in the audience who wishes to approach the zoning board on this particular case? Seeing no one, we will begin deliberations. Okay, so we will go back to case SU-2025-013, and that's the petition for Patty Niebuhr at 2370 Centennial Drive in Washington for a third accessory structure. Will the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the proposed special use permit be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare?
No.
Will the proposed special use permit be injurious to the use or enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for uses permitted in the district?
No.
No.
Will the proposed special use permit diminish or impair property values within the surrounding neighborhood?
No.
No.
Will the establishment of the proposed special use permit impede the orderly development or improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the subject zoning district?
No.
No.
Or have adequate utilities, access, roads, drainage, or other necessary facilities to be or been provided?
Yes.
Or have adequate measures to be or been taken to provide ingress and egress from the site, minimizing traffic congestion and hazards on public streets?
Yes.
Yes.
Will the proposed special use permit conform to all other applicable regulations of the zoning district?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion or comments?
I'll make a motion to accept as presented case number SU 2025013.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Troy and Tim.
Driscoll,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Sams,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Reeker.
Yes.
All voting in favor. Correct. So as a special use, that would go to City Council next Tuesday evening, which will be held in this same room at 6 p.m. It's never a bad idea to attend that meeting if you're able to, but it has 2 readings, so it'll go next week and then 2 weeks from then. So to go through twice before it's officially approved. Unfortunately not. Next Tuesday, right here at 6 o'clock.
Okay, next case is V-2025-006, and that is the petition of Scott Perry at 220 Raceal Court. Will a significant hardship result to the owner if the strict letter of the regulations are carried out, given the particular physical surroundings, shape, or topographical conditions of the property?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is it an inconvenience to the property owner to follow the regulations of the ordinance?
Yes.
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 No.
Is the variance requested based upon the uniqueness of the property?
Yes.
Is the variance based exclusively on the desire to make more money out of the property?
No.
Will the variance be injurious to the other property or improvements in the neighborhood?
Possibly.
Has the alleged difficulty or hardship been created by any person or persons presently having an interest in the property and thus self-imposed?
No.
No.
Will the proposed variation impair the adequate supply of light and/or air to adjacent property?
No.
No.
Will the proposed variation increase the congestion of the public street?
No.
Will the proposed variation create additional traffic safety problems?
No.
No.
Will the proposed variation increase the danger of fire to adjacent structures?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Will the proposed variance substantially diminish or impair property values within the immediate neighborhood?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Will the variance be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare?
No.
No.
Maybe. No.
Would the variance request be generally applicable to other properties within the immediate area?
Yes.
Sorry, I was just trying to understand that question.
Yeah. That's a,
I was
not
thinking the
worded
same
very
thing. I was going to ask Ty. This last question is that asking this specifically in case there's potential change to city code?
It's a trick question. No, it's, are there, would this be consistent with other properties in the neighborhood? And I
okay.
think kind of going back to, other neighbors that back up to this cul-de-sac, does the relief back behind there present some challenges? And I think you could make the case that not only this property, but other properties nearby would also have kind of the same workaround or have trouble finding a good placement for a shed.
Okay. Is it a common problem in this neighborhood? Okay. Okay. Questions, comments, motion? My first thought is that as long as the shed is behind the front plane of the house, if it was smaller in size, he could still put it up, as long as it wasn't on the lot line. And so the fact that the neighbor doesn't want the shed could still go up. But I would prefer it not be on the lot line. Just my thought.
Yeah, just looking at the site plan, it appears that there's at least one other property. I mean, according to the GIS markings, which could be maybe not accurate, but one is actually, looks like it's over the lot line on another property that's close to the area. And so if this one's off, that would apply similarly, but yeah, it's, we clearly have a neighbor that's opposed to this as well, but that's not, I mean, if it was special use, that's another point of consideration. It's really not self-imposed. It really deals with the property's design. So, I'm with Gina. I could vote yes if we reduce the size and, require some amount of, setback, whether that's 3 feet or 2 feet, not to encroach.
Right. I think there was some mention that 4 feet versus 5 would be acceptable, but whatever you all think, I can't make a motion. So.
I grew up in Highway Village up there, and due to the gullies that run around up there, there are a lot of properties like this, both here and near the school and that kind of stuff. So I think variances like this, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of them, other than the fact that most of those properties up there are already established and have sheds and that kind of stuff, so.
That's true.
But
Any other thoughts pertaining to this case?
I mean, if you have fire, EMS or anything, to get around between.
Is your microphone on?
No. To get around between all of these that are all jammed together is big problems. Setting up ladders, doing a lot of different things. When you have a steel shed right up against a house and another house. I'm sorry. And I just went through something with my own neighbor with the 5 foot. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have
Sorry.
that variance for a reason, and
Yes.
safety and fire
Yes.
safety would be,
Yes, I don't think
One
the
of the
fire
reasons.
department would be that thrilled about it at
Right.
all.
Michael? did you
Yeah,
have a comment?
I'm inclined to not approve this just because of how close it is to the structures. I think it poses a danger for potential issues with public safety. Yeah, I think I make my stance now. I'll vote no for this.
Do you want to make a motion to deny?
Sure, I'll make a motion to deny case V-25-006 petition of Perry Scott for Scott Perry for a 5-foot variance to allow for an accessory structure to be placed on property located at 220 Rankill Court, property ID 010136302011.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call vote.
Driscoll.
Yes.
Kelly.
No is saying I don't support the motion, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, no.
Sams.
no,
Brashears.
No. Or did I vote wrong?
Are you voting support
Are you
the-
voting
to recommend
or
it
not
To deny it?
to deny?
then you want to say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. God.
Bruder.
Yes.
Reeker.
No.
We have a split 3-3.
That's what I would have if I did my math.
So that,
Can I present another motion?
you may.
I'd like to motion petition of Scott Perry for the 5-foot variance to allow the accessory building with the exception that it is 3 feet from the property line located at 200 Ratchet Court, 010136302011.
Second.
Driscoll,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Sams,
Yes.
Brashears,
No.
Bruder,
No.
Reeker.
Yes.
Motion passes. 3 feet from the side lot line, so a 2-foot variance. And address the chair.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know do you want to say something? Can we set the clock on this? You can get up and speak again, but we were gonna set the clock so that you only have 5 minutes.
Okay, I'd like to say I totally disagree with your ideas. And 3 feet, 2 feet, it ain't gonna work. First of all, it's a cliff. He only has so much room. Second of all, I don't think it's for Grandpa's stuff. I think it's for a land business, a landscaping business that she has. And it's gonna be a lot of dirt going in there and bags of manure and bags. It's going to be, she does it now. She's a landscaper, and I don't begrudge her having a job. But the shed can go at the bottom of the hill and put all that stuff in it. It's pretty much a mess over there right now. I've got pictures. And I don't see it changing. So I'm not happy with the decision you've made. It's 4, 5 feet on the side of the house. That's what I was told that would stop that. And you're giving him 2 feet. Why? It's just a piece of land. Their house is smaller than the shed. Why put a big shed there? I don't have a problem with them. I love them. They're friendly. We're nice. We get along. Now, this has caused a land war and disappointing people that don't need to be disappointed, and me for one. So you make your choices, but I've lived there 35 years. I lived 2 doors down when I was married and divorced. I moved in this little house. It's where I was supposed to be, and I've stayed there and remodeled and brought kids in to raise and help my daughter. I love my house, and this makes me upset that I have to look at a shed at the side of it. It's a drop-off to woods. It's just not necessary. Would you want it next to you? Right next to your house? No, I don't think none of you here would want a 10 by 10 shed or an 8 by 4. It's a little piece of land between 2 houses. The reason it's there is to separate us. I moved in there was a beater's convertible, sat there for years in the driveway. Then daddy dies, son dies, sad. A truck is put there, a beater truck. It's been there 5 years sitting on that easement. A tree that dropped apples for years. And Clarice always got those apples up. But they brought flies to my front door when they rotted on the ground. This year I killed 50 flies in my front yard, in my front door. I don't normally complain, and I don't like to tell the story that I have, but it's upsetting me. I'm almost ready to fall over from it. I take care of my sister who had a stroke. My twin has had a stroke. 5 years I've taken care of her. I take care of people I care about. She lost her whole right side. I helped Clarice at times. I fed Clarice at times. I'm just asking a simple request that no shed go there. It's an eyesore. I have a shed in my backyard, and that's where it should be, in your backyard, not your side yard. I don't care how big it is. I don't want to create problems for them, but I've seen this working all summer with lawn business, and she has no place to put it. I understand her job is to do that. But it's not my job to watch it.
You've got about 10 seconds left, Roxanne.
Well, that's about it, but I'm telling you, it's hurtful, it's crippling, and it's upsetting to me.
Thank you. It will go to city council.
Thank you.
Oh, it does not? Okay. Darn it. Thought maybe I could pass the buck. Okay. Yes. Next case deliberations is SU-2025-014, and that is the petition of Lance Frank of Solar Energy Group for solar panels at 540 West Camp Street. Will the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the proposed special use permit be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare?
No.
No.
Will the proposed special use permit be injurious to the use or permitted in the district? Will the proposed special use permit be injurious to the use or permitted in the district?
Permitted.
We're missing a word or something, but I don't,
Yeah,
we'll just move on. Will the proposed special use permit diminish or impair property values within the surrounding neighborhood?
No.
maybe.
Maybe.
Good.
Will the establishment of the proposed special use permit impede the orderly development or improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the subject zoning district?
No.
Or have adequate utilities, access, roads, drainage, or other necessary facilities to be or been provided?
Yes.
Yes.
Or have adequate measures to be or been taken to provide ingress and egress from the site, minimizing traffic congestion and hazards on public streets?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Will the proposed special use permit conform to all other applicable regulations of the zoning district?
Yes.
So number 2 apparently was missing some verbiage. And the question is, will the proposed special use permit be injurious to the use or enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for uses permitted in the district? How's that? Makes a little more sense.
Possibly.
Yes, makes a lot more sense. Okay.
So I'll just start by saying, a couple months ago, we had a solar panel come to the another petition for farmland to be used as solar. And I was actually in the audience for that one, but I was against that one. I would say I think that these are great uses for solar. Property that already has concrete, asphalt, we're putting something above that. I like his idea for putting it on the roof as well. In my opinion, I think these are great uses of this, and I will be in support of this.
I struggle with the aesthetics of what that looks like in an area that has undergone a lot of, I think, work and consideration as part of our comprehensive plan, and how this kind of impacts, how we vote impacts, consistency of how we vote on this stuff in the future. And I'm based on the aesthetics, I'm just not a fan, and I don't think I can support it.
I agree with both of you. I think you're right. I think the concrete where it's at is a good use for this kind of thing. But I also am not a fan of the aesthetics. I don't know if you guys could take it back and see about maybe putting them above the dryers, making it more aesthetically pleasing. But just having 5 of them stuck in the concrete there, multiple places around the property, And like you said, with everything that we've done, the comprehensive plan, the new road going in there, all the other new structures that we've put in that area to try and bring that area back up, I don't know that I could support this at this time either.
And another comment, I think it was asked about the back, and then there was a comment about a variance. I think that that's something that we could possibly consider, even high mounted, to give additional panels to the back part of the property.
Right.
And granting a variance, and based on the property that's behind them, which I think is one of the logistics companies possibly,
To spin off a UPS. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, as long as no one came and was, objected to that, I think that might be a better positioning for additional panels, in addition to the roof. Just the front of the property along Camp Street there, I don't think that it's gonna look great.
I agree with Tim, and I definitely, as a zoning board, if we could do something variance-wise so they could put up more panels in the back closer to the property line, I'd be all for that. And if they would want to proceed now with the panels that are on the roof of the existing building without the additional, I would be for that as well. But to have them right out on Camp Street and along the driveway there, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, and I do understand and want to commend the petitioner for looking at alternative, sources of energy, because I do understand and I'm sympathetic to the energy costs to run a business. So I just want to make sure that it's understood that's not, why I would be voting against this. It's the aesthetics of what we're going for in this, and again, in reference to the comprehensive plan, it doesn't really fit.
So to make sure the board is clear, the roof mounted is permitted by right. It's when you put it on any sort of accessory structure, or, even if it went to the rear, would still need to come through the special use process for the ground mount component.
Got it.
And I think that's what my comment was, is as the zoning board, I would much rather be lenient on the variance closer to the back property line than anything out front.
Yeah, as well as the special use.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think looking at the size, obviously I'm not an engineer, but the square footage that they would be covering with these 5 looks like potentially they would only be able to get 2 behind that, just by looking at that, just so you guys are aware. I'd be interested in your thoughts. They were very particular in the location of these because they didn't want to stop business. So you can tell where they put these, were in medians and things like that. Would this board be any more apt to have like the entire area of the parking lot, as you would say, covered, similar to properties around this area that have like an entire covered parking area that have solar on top of them, as opposed to an accessory building?
I mean, I think that's kind of where my comment/question came from with the, where the vacuums are. If you could extend them over the parking lot and kind of hide it as more of a covered area for people to clean out their cars versus having kind of random posts with big giant solar panels, just right there, right on Camp Street.
I agree. I wonder if they could have the engineer come back and look at the canopies over the vacuums and see if that couldn't be part of the project.
Yeah. I understand the petitioner does not want to do that because that would have to shut down business, right? I mean, that's the reason why they've decided to place where they are. But I would present a motion to approve as is, but it sounds like that would not be voted on, so there's another motion.
Well, we can vote on it, it's just that you'd need a second, and then we could take a vote, or somebody could propose something entirely different.
I mean, a proposal could be brought forth, because it is a special use, and it allows for conditions. A proposal or a motion could be made to limit the number or, recommend placement in other areas, that would all be acceptable, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, but I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion that we deny this, we deny case SU-2025-014 as presented. It would give the petitioner the opportunity to possibly look at alternatives and come back with another site plan.
And I hope you do.
Well, let us finish the motion and the vote.
And
So
I'll
do I have
second
a
that.
second? So Troy's my second on the motion.
Yes.
Okay, vote,
Driscoll.
yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Sams.
Yes.
Brochures.
Yes.
Bruder.
Yes.
No.
One out.
Motion is denied. Go ahead, you can approach the podium now if you want.
For taking the time to consider it. All the incentives are basically gone this year, all right? So we put this in a long time ago. It would be one thing if you could give me guidance on where you would accept these being put, but like one, from an economic standpoint, like I think those plans cost me like $6,000. So I mean, now to put more money into a relatively small project, you guys, it gets tough, right? So if I could have some clear direction on what you'd like me to do, I'll do it. But I think it would be nearly impossible to have enough time to go back, come up with a design, represent it, have it turned down again. So if you guys have an idea, you know, the reason we didn't do them along the back is one, because we couldn't fit them, but two, you know, we also have to operate under the HJs that were provided, at least to the best of our ability. So I really appreciate you even considering it, but if you guys could put some placement on there, it would allow me to at least move forward in that
I think,
regard.
I can speak for just myself, but having been a part of this comprehensive plan that we're all talking about, it's trying to plan out for the next 20 years of what East Peoria is going to look like. And the levy district's obviously, you know, growing, and that's just, you know, right across a busy street. And I think a skinnier set of panels behind the building, closer to the lot line, it's not gonna get you where your plans are today, by any means. But in addition to, you said we're gonna go ahead and put them on top of the roof anyway. But yes, I mean, I guess personally, I would approve them if there were some in back of the building, even if they weren't as big and they sat closer to the property line.
And I also think to what we've already talked about, if you could fit them into the overall layout of the property, like if they are covers over the vacuum cleaners and stuff, I don't know that we would have that much problem with them because it would blend in.
That's what I was thinking.
These are just kind of sticking out in the middle of the parking lot here and there, and I think that's the problem that we have with them.
Can I ask you a question? Is there a square footage you're trying to get? I mean, are you trying to compensate for power in a percentage or?
Yeah, I would like to be right around 7,000 square feet.
Okay. I was just curious if you had that considered here, or you were just, like you said, trying to go for as much as you could.
We got it as close as we could.
Yeah.
While respecting all
So
the.
is there any consideration of other types of solar panel compared to this? Like, I mean, I'm thinking of one very specifically in Tremont, where it looks similar to like a carport with solar panels across the top of it, right? As opposed to a moving. I understand it won't get as much energy because it's not moving, but something like that, and there's also other, you know, images online and things like that of a more aesthetically pleasing solar panel.
I definitely understand. We do a lot of the carports for cities and schools and stuff. This particular client, just, that's what they want.
Okay. Understand.
It's just a better performing product. It's like it costs maybe a third of a stationary one, and then it generates that 1.9 times more power. So.
Yep.
But that would be my only request, is if you could just mark on a box like, hey, you can work with this much square footage, and then I'll come back with something.
I think the city would have to do that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know about anybody else. Those who, you know, have, you know, are potentially interested in saying, hey, I may approve something. Like, would any of you be willing to hang out after the meeting's over and give this gentleman some recommendations on saying, hey, I may approve it if you put it, you know, if you propose them in these locations? Is that acceptable to provide some
I think you can offer some suggestions. I think that, his challenge is that he's got to get this project through
Yeah.
before the end of the year.
That's why I'm offering up some time this evening.
And that's, that's unfortunately something we can't consider. It's got to be, if the recommendation is to deny, there is always an option for him to take it on to city council.
That's true.
For their review. They will know that the board recommended to deny it, but if there are options to consider that, board indicated
The
that you
boards
would.
could still approve it.
Excuse me?
I
The
won't
city
even-
council could
I
still.
won't take it. If you guys deny it, I'm not gonna fight it. I mean,
Would the city?
Could we,
Go ahead, Joe.
could we create a motion that says we would approve if all of the solar panels that are presented today are behind the front of the structure? So that would allow him to put the one that is here in the, I don't know what north is. It's north this way.
Until you see
Yeah.
a layout,
So
I
it would
wouldn't
be
be
the
comfortable with that.
southeast corner, that one would be approved, and then he could put two more behind the structure.
And then I would also
Then he doesn't have to come back to the board.
say keep it the similar height as the existing awnings as
Sure.
well.
He'd
Yeah,
have
I'll-
to, he may have to come back to the board for a variance if it's gonna go behind the structure.
I mean, can we approve that variance in the motion that we would
You can
present
make
tonight?
you can make a condition of approval and say you accept this. I mean, I think your only challenge is it's speculative because you don't have a plan to show it.
I understand that.
And that's the board's prerogative if you want to provide
Okay,
it.
I would be willing to create a motion to approve with the exception that all solar panels are, it would be east of the front of the building, and we would also approve the variance of the property line, that it would cover any, distance from the property line as long as it's not on the property line.
Do I have a second to that motion?
Can we add the height in there? And I'll second it.
What,
The height is similar of the height of the existing.
of the building, existing building?
Yep.
Similar or below the existing building?
And none of us are engineers, not one
We
of us.
denied that motion, but not the entire petition, right?
To deny the petition.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we
Just
can't
trying to make sure we
present
follow.
a new motion to the board.
Gotcha.
I mean, deliberations are closed at the point
Okay.
we've gone through the motion to deny. I'll leave that up to our parliamentarian here.
Right, because me and Robert's Rules of Order get along so well. So we made a motion to deny.
Correct.
We voted, and then Lance got up again.
Yeah.
So we could make a motion to vacate our previous vote?
Correct, if you wanted to amend or change the motion to approve with conditions.
I didn't know you grew up.
Okay, I still can't make a motion, so somebody's gonna have to make a motion to.
So before we go through that, can we have deliberations of, would there be enough to vote for that as I presented it if we went through the vacating of the denial and?
I would think so.
Yeah, I think so. Just to be clear, we're talking about just the parking lot like this, where the vacuums are.
So, no, what I actually proposed would be, if we drew a straight line here, it would be anything behind that line,
Okay.
because that's behind the building. So this one here would be approved, and he would be able to put two there.
back by where the semis park, right?
Correct.
You want to share that with the petitioner, make sure that,
I was gonna say,
I
you-
understand what he's saying. I
You
appreciate it.
may,
Thank
you
you.
may even be able to get one on that, I don't know if that's the north, east part of the property. You may be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4. You may still be able to get 4 out of 5, plus your, plus
So
your
Joel,
your
it
roof
sounds
mounted.
like you've got some positive feedback if you
So can
wanted to go
can
through
I
the-
create a motion to vacate the previous,
Vote.
motion?
To vacate the previous vote, right?
So it would be-
Or motion and vote, I guess.
And then to amend.
yeah, I think we need to rescind what was done and then,
Okay, so I would
place
like
it
to
in heaven.
motion to vacate the vote of the previous motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor of vacating our previous vote, say aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Okay, now,
Yeah, we can revote.
yeah, so let's go ahead then and make a new motion.
So what was your comment? before I make a new motion?
Yeah, I was just saying that I would be okay with adding solar panels in between the vacuums as long as they're within the same height of the vacuums awnings. So they're kind of hidden right there, right?
That's what those front two basically are now, that we just denied.
What? So it would be higher than the existing awnings, and then it would also protrude over the driving lane to go into the like to pay.
That's what these two are basically doing now. This is where the vacuums are, and this is the road going in.
Yeah, I would say that you couldn't pass this line, and it'd be right here. So it would just be here where there could be.
I don't think that's gonna work for this. I don't think that's gonna work for the site plan because that's gonna have to be posted in the structure will have to be placed in the driving aisle.
I think our challenge is we're going to re-engineer the project to where.
It would have to be re-engineered, yes.
So, I guess for ease of the petitioner, I would like to motion approval of, hold 1 second, case SU 2025-014 with the condition that all solar panels are to the back of the front of the building, which would be east of the car wash, and would also allow for the variance to be waived on the property line of that location.
That's actually south of the car wash.
No, that's east.
This side is north.
So what I'm saying
Right
is,
here.
I'm drawing,
It's north. Here's the car wash.
Yeah, yeah.
It's right here in this area.
so what I'm saying is drawing a line right here, John, and he can do anything on this Y, which is east. So this one would be approved, and he could put 2 more along the back, is what my motion is.
Yeah, that's northeast is the river's over there.
So it would be hidden behind, these 2 would be hidden behind the building,
Oh, I see
and
that.
this one, yeah, this one would be hidden behind the.
Sorry.
So any ground.
Is that enough?
Any ground mount solar items must be placed behind the front plane of the building and up to the lot line.
Correct.
side
And not
of
on
the-
the lot line.
But not on the lot line.
Or I guess we should say not, or hanging over, because this could technically, where the structure is located, the solar panel could hang over the lot line. So the footprint of the solar panel, not
Right.
over the lot line.
We'll need a revised site plan before we take it to council.
You got it.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Driscoll,
Yes.
Kelly,
No.
Sams,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Reeker.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Mr. McCrary.
It's a lesson in government for you. Okay, on to deliberations for case V-2025-007, and that's the petition of John McCrary at 300 Edmund Street. Will a significant hardship result to the owner if the strict letter of the regulations are carried out, given the particular physical surroundings, shape, or topographical conditions of the property? No.
No.
Is it
Yes.
Okay, is it an inconvenience to the property owner to follow the regulations of the ordinance?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the variance requested based upon the uniqueness of the property?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the variance based exclusively on the desire to make more money out of the property?
No.
Will the variance be injurious to other property or improvements in the neighborhood?
No.
No.
Has the alleged difficulty or hardship been created by any persons presently having an interest in the property and thus self-imposed?
No.
Will the proposed variation impair the adequate supply of light and/or air to adjacent property?
No.
Will the proposed variation increase the congestion of the public street?
No.
No.
Will the proposed variation create additional traffic safety problems?
No.
Will the proposed variation increase the danger of fire to adjacent structures?
No.
Will the proposed variance substantially diminish or impair property values within the immediate neighborhood?
No.
Will the variance be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare?
No.
No.
Would the variance request be generally applicable to other properties within the immediate area?
No.
No.
And then, I guess I pulled up the picture because I was curious. The dimensions of the fence look like there are several sections of 6-foot fence, but then one section of 4-foot fence, correct? And that is,
To allow viewing.
right,
When
to
they're
allow
backing
view
up.
around the corner, and thus Mr. Sally's concern is addressed with that section. Am I correct?
I would agree.
Okay.
I would like to create a motion to approve
Hang on,
case.
hang on real quick.
Yes.
I just want to also say that I did speak to the person who submitted that, and after explaining to them what John was asking to do, he did seem accepting of what was proposed.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I was just going to make one additional comment that, it looks like it's acceptable, and then I think we've also maybe approved other variances, or at least special use permits that included, some type of barrier between businesses and homes.
Yes.
So it's very consistent with how we voted for things like this in the past.
I'd like to make a motion to approve case V 2025-007 as read.
Do I have a second? Oh. Was that you, Troy?
Yeah.
Okay, that was Joel and Troy. Roll call vote?
Driscoll.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Sams.
Yes.
Or Shears. Bruner.
Yes.
Reeker.
Yes.
All voting in favor.
Okay, next item on the agenda would be old business. Having none. Any new business? Okay, next item would be the citizens' opportunity.
Wait, I did actually have a question. So, in the event that we get future, and I get it's already covered under special use, but are there city code changes that we need to consider as a zoning board related to ground-mounted solar in these zoning districts down here?
No specific requirements. I mean, the ground mount special use is citywide.
Okay. Are there things that we should consider, again, just related to like these specific zoning classifications for these properties versus other properties, so that we're more specific on like what we're allowing or what we're not allowing?
I mean, at this point, there hasn't been a specific call out. I think that, special use allows for a case-by-case basis. At this point, I haven't received any direction from the council that they wanted to, more specific. I know that we have identified the levy district overlay plan, or we've identified the Four Corners area as areas that have some specific requirements. That wouldn't affect this location, but at least at this point, there hasn't been any direction to call out.
Okay.
Yeah, but we already do.
Yeah, I just, in the event that we have, I want to help make it clear to future petitioners, like, what may be acceptable based in the city code is the only reason I even brought that
Yeah,
up.
understood.
Well, to that end, I think the design that they had of the actual structures themselves, to me, is acceptable, right? Getting them up off the ground and that kind of stuff, but I think it's just the placement, the aesthetics, so maybe it's time for the solar companies to come up with a new way to present their product, you know what I mean? So,
Good point. Okay. Any new business? Okay, and then now we have the citizens' opportunity to address the ZBA on non-agenda items. Anyone want to approach the podium? Okay, then we will adjourn the meeting. And
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting this
thank you.
evening.
Do I have a second?
second.
Okay, all in favor of adjourning the meeting, say aye.
Aye.
We are now adjourned.